What's the story, Morning Glory? What is the tale, Nightingale? Thank you so much for clicking on my channel and for joining me for another review of 90 Day Fiancé Before the 90 Days, Season 5, Episode 6, Burns and Betrayals. So let's start off with Miss Alina and Mr. Caleb. So they did what it did the night before. And for the most part, the conclusion is they were both pretty satisfied with how things went for the very first time. Um, they were both cuddling in the bed, and Caleb is telling her, "You can do a lot of stuff for a person your size." And Alina, in her confessional, the producers asked her, "Was it like you always imagined?" And she says, "No, not really. There were some awkward moments. There was a matter of holding me. Some of the positions were not that great." Alina asked Caleb, "Were you nervous about doing that with me?" And Caleb says, "No, he wasn't nervous, but it was something that was new. There was like a monkey wrench of sorts thrown in it, and he didn't really know what to expect. So she didn't really understand the term monkey wrench, and he tried to explain to her that it means that something unexpected is thrown into the mix, and you just have to sort of adapt." And in his confessional, Caleb says that being with a little person is like being a virgin, a lot that you don't really think of. He says he wasn't sure if he could just like pick her up and throw her around. Some positions just didn't work. Because of her legs being bent, it changed some of the options that they had. And he says that they have to do it more to see what comes natural for the two of them as a couple. Alina said that it was very enjoyable, and Caleb looks at her questioningly, kind of like, enjoyable? He says it's like, that's like saying that someone is just nice. And I thought enjoyable was a good verb to use to describe what she experienced with him. She said it was enjoyable. She didn't say it was just okay or just all right. She said it was enjoyable, but to him it wasn't enough. I guess he just wanted like a glowing Yelp review, 5 out of 5 stars. And Alina says, "Well, it was really amazing," but she didn't really want to pump up his head because then he probably would stop trying. And he was like, "Oh, so you just want to keep me on my toes?" And then Alina worried that something would go wrong and then they wouldn't be friends anymore. And he said that that was never an option for him. It didn't even cross his mind that they would ever stop being friends if anything went wrong, if it didn't go the way that they planned for it to go. And it bothers Alina that he won't discuss their future. And so I feel like because now that they've shared this moment, more of her feelings are going to be involved, or she's going to start feeling more for him, and she's going to expect more from him. And I'm not really sure if Caleb is really there. I think that they both probably went through with this out of some type of curiosity to make sure that they were going to enjoy it, to make sure that they were going to enjoy each other, and to make sure that this is something that they could that this was doable for them. That this was, it was finally done, it was accomplished, and now they can put it behind them, knowing that, okay, we're compatible there as well. But I also feel like maybe Caleb is, it was more out of curiosity for him, more so than an expression of love or a natural progression of the relationship. And with Alina, I think that she was also curious, but I think with her, there were more feelings involved. It was more emotional for her because she really, really likes this guy. And so that's my conclusion of that. That's what I think. So later on, they decide to meet up with Elijah. I think they said this was Elijah's last night in Turkey. So Alina really wanted to spend time with him, and she wanted Elijah and Caleb to spend time together to kind of get over their differences. So Elijah asked, "How was your sleep?" This was on the, they were going to go sightseeing. I think they were going to go to the market, and this was on the cab ride over to the market. And Elijah asked Alina, "So how was your sleep, or how did you sleep?" And she says, "Well, she didn't get much sleep." So when Alina and Elijah get a chance to talk alone, She told him that it happened, that they did the deed, and Elijah was really happy for her, really excited for her. And then Elijah says, well, now you're going to have to make sure that you tell him your secret, which is that she had her ex-boyfriend living with her for a very long period of time while she was cultivating this relationship with Caleb. And she's really hesitant about telling him. And Elijah says, well, if you don't tell him, I will. And I'm like, hold up, Elijah. First of all, this is not your place to tell. This is strictly between her and him. If she chooses not to tell him, that is strictly between her and him. I didn't understand why Elijah felt like Caleb just had to know. And if she wasn't going to do it, then he would have to step in and do it. I just didn't understand that at all. It was almost as if he was really looking out for Caleb and really wanted, Caleb to have all the information, and he just was looking out for the best interest in for Caleb. That's what it kind of seemed like to me, and I didn't understand that. But, truth be told, this is strictly between Alina and Caleb, and it's her story to tell. If she chooses to tell, fine. If she doesn't, that's her business, and she'll deal with the consequences of that. And Alina says that she's getting more and more attached to Caleb. And that kind of worries me because when I watch Alina and Caleb, sometimes I forget that I'm watching 90 Day Fiancé. I forget that I'm watching a couple that is supposed to be working towards a K-1 visa for them to eventually get married and live in the United States together. I just see them as, two people dating, getting to know each other, hanging out, really casual, no big deal. But the whole purpose is for him to decide whether or not he wants to pursue something more serious and eventually marry this woman. So it is kind of strange that up until this point, there really hasn't been a lot of talk about the future. And hopefully there will be more of that as time goes on with them. Moving on to Kim and Usman. So Kim and Usman, I don't know what day this is of them in where are they at? Zanzibar. I'm not sure what day this is. They still haven't kissed, they haven't slept in the same room, and it's concerning for her. So as she's getting ready for the day, and this is the day that they're going to be doing his video shoot, she is trying to figure out what to wear, and it seemed like the only thing she brought were Soldier Boy t-shirts because she was trying to figure out which Soldier Boy t-shirt she wanted to wear. But she swears up and down that she's more than a fan, that she's just not a fan. But she's doing some really, she's got a lot of fan tendencies about her. So it's the day of the video shoot, and Usman says that he's never met Zara in person. The song is about Zara. He's never met her in person. They had like a really hot and heavy online romance, but she couldn't take his female fans, and that's why they broke up. I guess Zara was too jealous of seeing him or seeing all the attention that he was getting from the females. I wonder if we're going to get to meet Miss Zara at any point on this show. It would be fantastic if Zara made an appearance of some sort. So at the video shoot, Kim basically just wants to take over. I think that Kim did a better job in helping Usman in the video shoot than his manager and his assistant did. And I'm like, Usman, if you need a real manager, a for real manager, Kim is your girl, because she was on top of it. She was on top of it from wardrobe to hair to even videography and how the video was going to look and how he was performing in the video. She was on top of it. So she wants to just take over the whole shoot, and his manager and his assistant are trying to tell her, hey, you need to step back a little bit. This is not your lane. And she says that she doesn't want them to see the boss lady in her come out because they're not going to be happy if she has to get to that level. And so she's really upset with how disorganized they are. First of all the clothes that he was supposed to wear in the video shoot were just kind of like thrown about on the bed. They weren't on racks. They weren't hanging. They weren't like laid out nicely to figure out what he was going to wear in what scene. It was just like all these clothes, like a heap of clothes on the bed. And they thought that it was okay. And Kim was like, no, that's not how it is. We need some type of organization here. So Usman himself, he's also upset with the lack of competency with his team. Kim sees how, so when they start shooting the video scene, the model is there, and they're shooting the scene, and the model is right next to him, and she's doing her job, acting as his love interest in the video. And he has to touch her a certain way, she has to touch him a certain way. And Kim says that she felt some kind of way when she saw how he was touching the model, and she mentioned that he doesn't touch me like that. That's sad, Kim. That is really sad that this woman who's just being paid to be there is getting more affection than you, who are his actual girlfriend. That made me feel for her a little bit. Kim said that she had asked Usman, who the hell is Zara? What is the song really all about? And he tells her that Zara is just a song for all the girls named Zara in the world. He lied to her. He didn't tell her that it was about a specific woman. And I'm not sure why he would lie to her, because he wasn't seeing Kim when he was seeing Zara. So what's wrong with him telling her the truth that, yeah, Zara is an ex-girlfriend of mine, and I wrote a song about her when our relationship ended, or when I was with her, whenever he wrote the song, and it is what it is, and she can either accept it or not accept it. But I didn't like how he had to lie to her. That just shows, a lot of, that's like some F-boy tendencies there. So Kim says, so Kim, I didn't understand why she did not remember that Usman had made an entire song about Lisa, baby guy Lisa. So he makes a song about Zara, and you don't think that it is about an actual person, because his MO is making songs about the women in his life. So I'm pretty sure that she wasn't stupid enough to believe that this song was dedicated to all the Zaras in the world and not just one particular one. So while he's filming the video shoot, Usman seemed a little bit off to me. Like, he didn't have a lot of personality. He wasn't very animated. I don't know if he needed some coffee or some type of an energy drink, but he was just really wasn't like giving anything in this video. So the director kept on shouting at him, look at her, look at her, look at her, trying to get him to look at the model so that we can get some type of chemistry going on. And he was so deadpan. He was so blah. Like, he didn't want to be there, or maybe he was tired. I don't know what was going on with Usman. So Kim tries to tell him, get your energy up, get your energy up. And I like that she was doing that. She's like, get your energy up, really get into it. And he wasn't delivering. This was really sad. So I remember I did look on YouTube for one of his other videos. I think it was this song, Zara. Was it this song? I don't remember what song it was, but I saw one of his videos. And Usman is a very low key guy. Like, he doesn't have a lot of energy in his videos, from what I could remember. They had dancers in the video, the one that I saw on 90 Day Fiancé, the one that was on the show, when they were filming the video on the show. They had dancers in the video, a lot of energy. The girl who played his love interest, I thought she did a really good job. But Usman just seemed, I don't know if it's because he was self-conscious because Kim was there, or he didn't want to do anything to make her jealous, because then she might take back the PS5 and the laptop. I don't know what it was, but he was very low key. And so then he says to her, after they got done rapping, after they finished filming the video, he says to her, that he wants a soda. So she says, well, you're going to have to pay me. And he was like, yes. And he goes, wait, what do you mean pay you? As if something clicked in his mind, like, wait a minute, what did I get myself into? Like, he doesn't want any type of misunderstanding of what he's willing to do with her, or how far he's willing to go with her, because she was just joking. She was like, yeah, but you're gonna have to pay me. And he was like, yes. And then he was like, oh, wait a minute, what do you mean I have to pay you? Kind of like, I was like, she was just joking, Usman, relax, chill, she's just joking. So she says that, Kim says, believe it or not, she says that Usman reminds her of Michael Jackson because he's so dedicated to his art. Michael Jackson gave in every single video. He gave us exactly what we needed in every single video that he did. So the way Usman was acting in this particular video shoot, I don't know, dedicated to what? He didn't act like he was dedicated to anything, other than taking a nap. So on the ride back to the hotel, it's him and Kim. And then in the back, it's his manager and his assistant. So he's so tired that he lays his head on Kim's lap. And at first, Kim started apologizing to the manager and the assistant, about trying to take over and being so bossy. She seemed really apologetic. But then she turned it around and she said, but she had a lot of concerns about how they conducted business. And she saw a lot of problems in the video shoot, and that Usman deserves better than that. And Usman, he got up and he says that he agreed with Kim, and he was really impressed on how Kim was really there for him. I'm very, very confused because one minute he says all these things to her, like, he agrees with her, she's right, he's impressed by her, he's impressed on how she's so dedicated to him and how good she is to him. And then he refuses to sleep in the same room with her, even though she traveled all the way across the world to see him and to be with him. He won't sleep in the same room with her. He shows no, oh, I was going to say he shows no affection, but in the car, they were holding hands. So there was some affection there. So I'm really confused about exactly how he really feels about Kim. But of course, as the show progresses, we'll have a better understanding. Memphis and Hamza. So, Memphis and Hamza, they're out and about sightseeing or doing whatever they're doing around Tunisia. And all of a sudden, Memphis says that she had to poop. She didn't say, I have to go use the bathroom. Can you please show me where the toilet is? I need to go to the ladies' room. She actually came out and said, I have to poop. Like a 2-year old. Where in the world is it ever okay for an adult to announce to the world that they have to go poop? I was so disgusted. I was so just disgusted. There's no other word. I was so disgusted by her when she said that. I don't know why. It just really got under my skin. It rubbed me the wrong way. I just did not like how she had to. I didn't understand it. Like, there's a million other ways you can express what you just said in a way that's not. Everybody does it. I get it. Whatever. But why make an announcement? Why do you have to announce it every time that you need to do it? Why announce it? Just say, excuse me, babe, but I got to go to the bathroom. Can you show me where the bathroom is? And leave it at that. So he shows her where the bathroom is, and y'all, it just gets worse from there. So she goes into the bathroom, and I guess she forgot that her mic was on. I don't know what the hell was going on here, if she was doing this on purpose. But you could hear her in the bathroom straining. Hamza is outside, and I guess he can hear her too because he's encouraging her, he's cheering her on, and he keeps telling her, good job, babe, good job. This whole scene was so problematic for me. It was problematic, it was unnecessary. I didn't get it. This was not amusing, this wasn't entertaining. This was just awful. I don't know why this just cannot have been edited out. It was just so awful. And I kind of saw her in a different way. I kind of saw her like, is this woman okay? Is she okay? I mean, you're so worried about impressing him, and she was so worried about, is he gonna find me attractive? And my past relationships, we had intimacy issues. I didn't know if they really were attracted to me. Is he gonna want me? Is he gonna like? But then you decide to tell him, I gotta go poop. I gotta go poop. After that mess is finished with, they're sitting down talking, having orange juice, and he says to her that he wants to know more about her. He doesn't know much about her past, and so she tells him that she was raised. No, she tells him that both her mother and her father has substance abuse issues, and she wasn't raised by her biological parents, and that this really affected her as a child. And when she was telling him about her past, Hamza seemed really affected by it. He seemed very sympathetic, and it really hurt him to know what she went through as a child. It's like he was really hurt by her story. And Memphis tells him that she's got issues with abandonment, and in her confessional she talks about how she feels more vulnerable now that she shared this with him. And when she was telling him about her issues of abandonment, I guess, she was like letting him know, hey, if you decide to walk away from me, it's going to be a big problem for me because, this is my life and I can't take it when people leave me. So we'll see how that goes. So they're back at the house and then we're in the middle of this huge discussion between Memphis and Hamza, his sister, and his mother. So Memphis finds out that Hamza lied about his age. He's actually, I think, 2 years younger than what he proposed to be. And she is upset. She is pissed off that he lied about his age. She's so upset that she walks away and she locks herself in the bedroom. And she gets really emotional and she starts crying. And she tells the producers that she doesn't care about the age gap. What she cares about is that he lied. So now she's thinking, what else did he lie to me about? So the producers tell her, well, go talk to him. And she's like, no, I can't let them see me like this because she's crying. So she gets herself together and then he comes in to talk to her. And she's like, why did you lie about your age? Why are you lying to me? And, oh yeah, I also forgot to mention when she was like, acting, really upset about him lying about her age before she stormed off, the mother was looking at her, and the mother in her confessional said that that Memphis was just overreacting. She was just acting way too dramatic about him lying about her age. So the mother thought that she was just doing way too much, putting 20 on 10. So when she finally gets a chance to talk to Hamza, she's crying and everything. And at some point she asked him, so did you ever go to college? Did you really go to college? And I think he said yes. And then she's go get your sister. I don't know if she wanted the sister to come in because maybe the sister, her English is a little bit better than Hamza's, and so the sister can interpret for them. But she's like, go get your sister. And then he's just sitting there looking, sad and lost and forlorn. And she's like, go get your sister. Go get your sister. So he gets his sister, and the sister comes back, and she asked the sister, well, did he really go to school or is he lying about that too? And the sister says, no, he really did go to college. He wouldn't lie about that. And then Memphis says, well, where's his diploma? Where is it? I need to see it. So he found it. He looked for it and he found it. He kept it safe in like a waterproof folder or jacket of some sort. And so then he takes it out. He shows it to her. I don't know what she expected to see. The whole entire degree was written in Arabic. The only thing that she could decipher was the dates. I guess the dates that he attended school and when he graduated. Everything else was written in Arabic. So she looks at it and she's like, oh, okay. Okay. I'm like, okay, what? You don't even know what it says. I mean, it could have been a freaking degree in cutting grass. Like, what do you mean, okay? You don't even know what it says. So, because she wanted to know if you really got a degree in HVAC, heating, ventilation, and air conditioning, I think. So, they told her, yeah, he got a degree in that, but she couldn't tell from looking at the paper because it wasn't written in the language that she understood. So that was kind of strange. And then the reason why he lied about his age, he says in his confessional that he wanted to appear more mature. Like he really wanted to be close to her and not be rejected by her. So he thought that if he added a couple of years to his age, he'd have a better chance of being with her. That was innocent enough. It was like really no big deal. I kind of feel like she overreacted too. Of course, he shouldn't have lied about his age, especially since, she wants to marry this man and, be in it for the long haul. But okay, so the kid lied about his age. He added a couple of years. Like, who hasn't done that? That's fine. Get over it, please. He apologized. He was sorry about it, and he promised her that he wasn't going to lie about anything else ever again. So hopefully she's going to calm down. So moving on to Jasmine and Gino. They're at the gym. They're at the gym because Jasmine, working out and being healthy is really important to her. And while she's working out, Gino's asking way too many questions. And so she has to basically tell him to shut up. She's still upset about the previous day when he didn't get her a Christmas present. So she's still not over that. And of course, she's still upset about the whole ex-wife thing. The fact that he still has the decorations in his home that his ex-wife had put, the interior decorations that his ex-wife had set up. So when she's telling him to shut up because he's asking her too many questions and he's talking too much, he's like, okay, I understand. And then she says, okay, good boy. This whole, I don't know what this is, this dynamic between them. I don't know if it's like someone dominant, submissive, mother, child. I don't get it. But this whole thing of good boy and him being very obedient to her. Like, I'm not understanding what's happening here. So Jasmine says that she's planned a 4-day trip on a remote island, somewhere off the coast of Panama. And she says, for you to make up for not giving me a Christmas gift, you need to pay for the trip. And the trip is $2,500. And at first he was like, excuse me, what? And she says, oh, you don't care about me? Because when I looked on your Facebook, you took your ex-girlfriends and your ex-wife or whoever else, you take them out on trips. So I'm not worthy of a trip? And he tries to tell her that, look, that was when I was working. You keep forgetting that. Right now, I have no income. So, and then she says, well, this is the cheapest trip that you're ever going to pay for, because this is a lot cheaper than the trips that you took your ex-wife to. So she really lays on the guilt really, really thick. And as beautiful as Jasmine is, she's extremely insecure. And her confidence is such a false confidence, because she breaks down at the littlest things. The tiniest thing completely derails her and makes her think less of herself, or she perceives that someone is thinking less of her. The tiniest thing completely takes away any scintilla of confidence that she may have. And it's just really sad to see this beautiful, educated woman who should be the most confident of all, because not only is she beautiful, but she's also intelligent. But she just can't take anything. She can't take anything. Anything just really sets her off. So Jasmine says, so when he's, kind of, I think he was okay with the trip, but then the conversation goes back to the ex-wife and what was decorated in his home, the stuff that the ex-wife had brought into the home. And she was talking about how the colors were really awful because they were blue and red. And she says, what kind of colors are those to decorate a home? And she says, and something else that I want you to do is, I want you to burn everything that she ever bought, or burn everything that she had decorated your house with. I want you to burn it all. And he's just like, I don't think I'm going to be doing that. And then she says to him, in the last few days, how can I say this delicately? Because I can't say exactly what she said. She says, in the last few days, I've stepped up to the mic more than she has in the past 7 years. And he says to her, you don't have to say such nasty things like that. And then she goes, are you defending her? Are you her lawyer? Are you defending her? And then he's just like, no, I'm not defending her. I just don't think you have to go that far when you're talking about her. So I'm like, Gino, do you not understand who you're dealing with? How come Gino, and as long as he's known her, which is longer than how long I've known her, but I've already figured her out. I can already tell what can be said and what cannot be said around her. I'm not understanding why he doesn't understand that. Don't say anything remotely positive about any female in your past. If she says, I don't like how your house is decorated and all that stuff that your ex-wife brought in, all of that's got to go. Nod your head, Gino, and just say, okay, I understand. Okay, this is going to be your home too. Yes, I totally agree. You should add your touch into my home. Yes, I understand. Instead of, well, I don't understand why I have to do that. I don't know why you have to say that about her. I don't know why you keep calling her stupid. No, Gino, no. No. Until she gets the intense psychotherapy that she needs, Gino, until then, just agree with whatever she says and go along with whatever she wants, if you're really serious about being with her. Now, if you're not serious about being with her, then let it go. Pack your bags and go back home. But if you really want to be with her, just agree with whatever she says. So she has a full-on breakdown. Okay, she just starts crying, and she's just completely loses it completely. So they go back into the room, and Jasmine says to him that he's living in the past, and she wants to put their relationship on pause. She's like, forget about the babies, forget about getting married, forget about all of that. So then Gino says, that Jasmine is the most sensitive girl that he's ever met. Oh, you think? And then he realizes that if he would have just answered differently, things would not have gotten as out of hand as they did become. So the Gino says, what can we do to get past this? And Jasmine says that don't talk about your past and never say anything positive about your exes. Jasmine wants, then she finally admits to him that she's been taking birth control pills. And he's a little bit shocked by that. I don't know why he would be shocked by that, but he is. And she says, you know what? I don't think that we're ready to have a family right now. And he says, you know what? I just want you to be honest. If you weren't taking them, just you should have just told me instead of making me think that we're here making a baby and we're making progress and having a baby. And, I guess his expectations were really high that she could possibly be pregnant before the trip is over, but the whole time she's been taking birth control pills. So now she's happy because he relented and he promised her all the things that he promised her about getting rid of the ex-wife stuff, not mentioning the ex-wife anymore, not talking positive about any of his exes, and paying for this $2,500 4-day trip. So now she's back to happy Jasmine. Moving on to Ben, 52 years old, from Fraser, Michigan, somewhere around there. Ben is a new character, and he is definitely a character. When we meet Ben, he is actually checking his body fat. He has those little, the measuring thing that you squeeze your fat with, and it measures how much body fat you have. And I think his body fat was at 20 something percent, 23% or something. He's very optimistic, he's very hardworking, and he only weighs 201 pounds. He is a model. And I guess he models for, like, if someone needs a older man with a fit body, he's the one that shows up. He's an old guy with a really good body. He works out. He has a really nice body. He says that he grew up in a fringe religion of a mainstream Baptist religion. I have no idea what he's talking about. So I guess he's Baptist, but I guess the Baptist has certain sectors in it. And he grew up in a sector that was like on the fringe. Very, very, my understanding is very, very extreme, very out there. And he says it was very much like a cult. They had no TV, no movies, no outside friends. And when he grew up, he got married. He became a pastor. Yeah, he became a pastor, and he married the church youth director, the church youth teacher. They had 4 children, and they were married for 24 years. Then he filed for divorce because he just wasn't happy. He felt like he couldn't really be himself anymore. So after he had left his wife and after he left the church as well, he said that he felt really lost. So he started online dating. But he couldn't really navigate through the whole online dating thing, so he forgot about that. He left that alone. Then he just started posting these really attractive pictures of himself, I guess with himself shirtless, showing off his physique, so on and so forth. So his friend count grew exponentially on his social media. So one day he was looking through his friends list and he discovers a really attractive young woman who was one of his friends. So he sent her a wave, and I guess she responded, and the rest is history. So this particular woman that he's on his friends list, her name is Mahogany, and she's from Peru. There is a 28-year age difference. So that makes her about, I think, 24 years old. Mahogany was not turned off by his religion and his chastity because, I guess he's a born again virgin. I don't know. But he is definitely saving himself for when he gets married again. Mahogany has also known Jesus for years, so she's really in touch with her religious side. And according to Ben, Mahogany told him that you deserve to be loved, and I want to be that person for you. So, in a week, he's leaving for Peru. But first, he's having lunch with his friends. When he's sitting down with his friends, he decides to announce to them that he's got some really big news. He said that he met someone online. Her name is Mahogany. And in about a couple of weeks or so, he's going to be going to Peru to meet her. His friends are extremely suspicious of this. They ask him, how long have you been dating? He says they've been dating for about 3 months. Well, have you ever talked to her? He says, no, we really haven't talked or FaceTimed each other because she just doesn't like to do video calls. He shows us a picture of Mahogany. Mahogany looks like a CGI, a computer generated image. She doesn't even look real. She looks so dang perfect. She doesn't, it's like it's not even real. Like she looks like something created, you know, on a laptop or something. She just looks that perfect. And I didn't understand, like, if she was this beautiful and this attractive, why wouldn't she want to FaceTime? Usually, if people are having issues with how they look, they don't think that they're attractive enough, or their nose is too big, or there's something wrong with their looks. Those are the people that kind of avoid the whole FaceTiming thing. Why would this beautiful 24-year-old woman not want to FaceTime her boyfriend? His friend says that Ben is so desperate for love that he'll just, he'll go after anything, or he'll fall for anything. They did talk twice on the phone, but most of their conversations are done through texting. There's no video chatting. She doesn't want a video chat, but she did send him a video of herself. And he shows his friends this like 10-second video that she had recorded of herself. And she just basically saying something like, my name is Mahogany, or this is Mahogany here, or something like that. And their friends don't buy it at all. They're like, this isn't real. No, there's no way. You're being catfished. You are being catfished. And he actually admits in his confessional that he was catfished before. He thought that he was having a relationship with a woman online. It ended up being some man from Africa who was probably trying to get money out of him. They asked him, have you sent her money? He says, yes. He says, actually, she asked me for a loan. And my question was, Benjamin, sweetheart, love bug, I understand that you said loan to your friend so you wouldn't look stupid, just giving money away to someone who you've never even FaceTimed with, let alone met. But how does that make it any better? If we were to believe you, Ben, that you loaned her $1,000, how reasonable is it that this 24-year-old girl from Peru is going to be paying you back? If she had the ability to pay you back anyway, why would she have to borrow the money from you? If you want us to believe that you loaned her $1,000, but we know that you didn't loan her anything. You gave her $1,000. And that's probably being very conservative. I bet you gave her more than that. Ben, what's wrong with you? Is this what happens when you grow up extremely sheltered, that you don't learn the ways of the world? And what is happening here? He's 52 years old. And I really can't blame the religion, because I think his ex-wife, who grew up in the same religion, she's more savvy than he is. But let me not rush myself. So he says that he's going to have to, let his children know the what's up. And he says that the divorce was really hard for his children. And he said that if his children don't accept this, he's not going to pursue it. I find that hard to believe. If his children don't accept this, he's still going to do it. Because he's going to use God as his reason for pursuing this CGI, this computer generated image that claims to be living in Peru. So he says that the relationship with his ex-wife right now, it's very cold. He believes that she's very resentful towards him, and he believes that she's not over the divorce. As stupid as he is, why wouldn't she be over the divorce? Why would she want to be married to someone who has very little common sense like this? I don't know why he would say that. So he's worried that his ex is going to somehow disillusion the children and turn the children against his plan of wanting to be with this CGI. So when he invites his ex-wife and his children over, he announces to them that he's met someone from Peru, 24 years old, and he plans on going to Peru to go meet her. The whole entire time, the ex-wife was looking at him like, you dumb idiot. Did I really have kids with you? She really had that look on her face like, you're so pathetic. I can't believe I saw anything in you. But then he wants us to believe that she regrets divorcing him. And so he's like, the ex-wife was kind of like, you've been down this road before. And he says, yes, yes, and I made a mistake. And he talks about how right after his divorce, he met a 28-year-old, dated her. It didn't work out because she didn't like how much time that he was spending with his children. So that relationship ended. So he's been down this road before. And he tells his children that his decision in being with this woman, this CGI named Mahogany, his decision in being with her is that this is God's plan for him. And I'm like, please, 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 Ben, no, do not bring God into your dumb decisions. Don't use God as your scapegoat in making these stupid decisions. Don't do that, Ben. Don't. In fact, maybe God is talking to you through your ex wife and your children who seriously doubt what the hell you're doing. Anyways, moving on. So the kids say that whenever their father has a new girlfriend, he becomes more distant from them, which is really sad. And these are kids who are like in their teenage years, late teens, early 20s. And they feel sad. They're like, every time dad meets a new girl, we don't really see him as much. Now, he shows them the computer of the CGI, and the ex-wife says, "So when did you decide that God was leading you? Because you were not being led." She says, "When did you decide God was leading you? Because God was not leading you with that other 27-year-old." And I'm like, good point, good point, Ben. I really hope this woman is real. I really, 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 because if this woman is not real, you're going to be the biggest idiot, the biggest fool 90 Day Fiance has ever seen. Moving on to Ximena and Mike. So they're taking a walk. Mike is still upset about the fact that Ximena will not be able to have children with him. So once again, Ximena explains, the trauma of childbirth. It really affected her, and she never wants to experience that again. She's very thankful for the operation because she's like, the way she was going, the path that she was going, who knows how many more children she would have had by wayward men. So Mike asks if it's possible to get her tubes untied. And she's like, sweetheart, mi amor, it's got nothing to do with untying. It's not like shoelaces, okay? My tubes have been clipped and burnt, okay? Clipped and burnt. Nothing will happen. I will not be able to have a biological child. It's not going to happen. So Mike says, well, we can raise Harold and Juan together, but he still feels a certain kind of way about not having his own child because she was trying to tell him, okay, we may not be able to have our own children, but we have, my two sons who see you as their father, and I don't see how they see him as their father when they just met him for the first time. But anyways, they see you as their father, so, what about that? And he's like, yes, I love them like they're my own, but still, there's still something in his heart of him not being able to have his own child. Now, because he can't have his own child with Ximena, I feel like he's probably going to want it more and more and more now. So he booked a trip for him and Ximena for them to have some alone time because, she's been with her family has been attached to them since he got there. So they arrive in Salento. They arrive in Salento. They have a beautiful room with this breathtaking view of the mountains. It was a beautiful, beautiful room. And so they're sitting in the hot tub together, and Mike is asking her about the fathers of her two children. And she says that one of them was a hitman. And when she discovered that he was a hitman, she wanted to leave him. And when she wanted to leave him, he didn't like that. And so he had put a bounty on her head or something. He had threatened her that she was going to be killed. In fact, he called her up one day and he was like, well, you have 3 days to live, so enjoy them to the fullest. Like literally threatening her life. So she took that message to the police department. And after that, she said she never saw him again. She doesn't know where the hell he's at. So Mike is really worried about her safety. And Jimena's like, it's the past. Forget about it. Yeah. But my ex-boyfriend wanted to kill me, but it's the past, and I don't know where he's at. The police never found him. Forget about it. It's in the past. Don't worry about it. Don't let that worry you. So that is my review of 90 Day Fiance. Once again, I went on way too long. So that's that. It is what it is. Thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate it if you made it this far. I love you more than you'll ever know because you spent all of these 43 minutes with me, and I appreciate that. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will definitely talk to you later. Bye.